Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome if you're joining us from Starler Play as well. Welcome. It's good to have both sets of YouTube channels streaming at the same time. If you're on Starler Play, things look slightly different. You'll see that the From the Shed End backdrop there is there, but this is From the Shed End. If you're a Chelsea fan in particular, then head over after this live stream, head straight over to From the Shed End and make sure you subscribe on there as well. We're only previewing Manchester United and Chelsea. That is the biggest game of the weekend coming up. It is a game where Manchester United are going to be bouncing back from their news that Ruben Amorim has now been appointed officially as their head coach, who will be in charge, I think, from the middle of November, end of November, after the next international break. So United are on the high. They're into the next round of the Carabao Cup. Things looking good for United, I can't lie. They are looking really good for United. But we are here to talk about Chelsea. And we are here to preview the game. So please make sure you like the video. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments if you're here as part of the live stream as well. Make sure you get involved with the discussion. Let me know what your thoughts are. Now, this is a really strange game because history will tell you that going to Old Trafford as a Chelsea fan and the Chelsea players is not going to be easy. We haven't won at Old Trafford since the 5th of May, 2013. Almost, 11 years ago. 11 years and some months ago that we last had a win. Juan Mata, I think, was the one who got the goal, 1-0. It's going to be tough. But we have to try. This is probably the best time to go and play this United team. You know, United now, they're looking at, obviously, the future. They're seeing that the new manager is going to be there in a couple of weeks' time. But we have to make sure that we guard against complacency. All the things I said about Newcastle, actually, everything I said about Newcastle in a week, we have to do that again and get it spot on, because we can't afford to let that run go on. I'm just looking at the run here. So the 5th of May was our last win. We've had draws after that, 3 draws. Then United won 2-0. In 2018, United won 2-1. We had another draw, 2019. United, I think that was Lampard's first game in charge, I think. 4-0 Drummond. Mental game. They beat us in the FA Cup at Old Trafford. We drew 0-0, 2020. 2022, 1-1. May 23, they beat us 4-1. And last December, the 6th of December, they beat us 2-1. A winning goal by Scott McTominay, of all players, who scored 2, I think, that day, actually. He scored 2 goals that day. But this has to be the perfect time to play Manchester United. You know, they sit 14th in the league. It's a moment for us to take opportunity to take full advantage of the poor start that they've had to the season. You know, we've started the season pretty well in terms of our performances, 5 wins out of 9. I feel this is the time to go and beat United. I'm just thinking about the squad that they will potentially pick for tomorrow's game. And the fact that they're in really bad form, this is the perfect time. There's no better time to go to Manchester United and try and beat them. Yes, they'll have the new manager bounce. They'll have the new... the good thing is, I think, that with United, I think that game against Leicester will be a game where they probably felt that they were able to capitalise on Leicester's bad form as well. And that might actually help us, because they might still be on a high from that. They're now going to want to impress because they know that the new manager's coming in. But we also, again, have to guard against complacency, because they will be on a high. They will want to. They will be expecting to win a game based on the fact that they just won against Leicester. But yeah, we have to guard against complacency. I'm going to keep saying that. We're going to have to guard against complacency, because it's easy to be lured into the fact that we think that we can just go to Old Trafford and win. And those results that I've just reeled off tells us that it's going to be a difficult game. Now, let's see what Maresca said in his press conference earlier. Let's see if I can get it up on here, actually. Let's see what Maresca said, because I think the only player that should not be available is Jadon Sancho, who won't be available to play in this game because of his parent club being still theoretically being Manchester United. He won't be involved in tomorrow's game, but we should still have. I mean, we're not going to see the squad that came out against Newcastle, because that was just mental. That was absolutely mental, man. That was mental. Let's find out what he's been saying in the press conference. Here we go. It's always interesting. I feel like these press conferences with Maresca, they're getting better. They are getting better. I mean, I'm happy when I see Maresca at the press conferences. He actually talks a lot of sense in them as well, and I think people are asking him the right questions now. Whereas a couple of press conferences ago, when it was Potter, when it was Pochettino, they were asking him some stupid questions. But I feel like they're getting the questions spot on with Maresca. Right, let's see what he's saying. Let's see what he's saying. All right, let's go. So Maresca, let's see what he said in the press conference on Ruben Amorim. All the best to him. If people are in charge take the decision he thinks the correct one, all the best to him. I like that. Very short and sweet. Very short and sweet from Maresca. Couple of words there on Ruud van Nistelrooy. I didn't speak to him. I will give him a big hug on Sunday. You better give him a hug after the win. We need to win first. We need to get the victory out of United first. Then you can give Van Nistelrooy's hug. But he's put there that we expect a tough game. He's a fantastic guy, humble, very professional. Unfortunately, I shared with him a time when he was already finished. Here we go. Maresca on Chelsea not winning at Old Trafford since 2013. Really, I mean, even the manager's shocked. Even the manager's shocked that we haven't won there for 11 years. Hopefully it's a good time to play them. It shows how difficult the stadium is. We're going to do our best to win the game, which is very good news. He's told us that the whole squad is available for this game on Sunday. All the players are available. Obviously, as I said, Jadon Sancho is ill, but he won't be available anyway because of the loan that we've got, and he's obviously not able to play against his parent club. What else has he said in here? Yeah, this is a good point actually. So Enzo Maresca's on his frustrations with Enzo Fernandez. I don't know if anyone noticed on the Newcastle game in the week, the frustration you could see on the touchline with Maresca. He wasn't happy at all with Enzo Fernandez and his misplaced passing that I spoke about a couple of days ago. He wasn't happy at all. But he says here that I show frustration with Enzo when he missed the pass versus Newcastle. No, I show frustration with all of them. Don't look just at Enzo. I still trust Enzo. There is no reason I can lose confidence in him. The reason he isn't playing in the Premier League is because I made a different decision. My confidence is 100% with Enzo. That's interesting because I don't think he'll start tomorrow. I don't think Enzo will start the game. I think he'll be on the bench. He's obviously had a mad week as well off the field. A lot of things have happened by the sounds of it off field for him in his personal life. So I think he won't be playing. And I don't want to see him play, to be honest. I think after the performance against Newcastle, I think we rested Caicedo. We didn't bring Caicedo or Lavia to St. James's Park in a week. So I am expecting those two to partner each other in the midfield tomorrow. Maresca on Cole Palmer. Cole plays well even when he doesn't score because he allows the rest of the team to play the right way. I hope so. He plays well. He's going to play. I hope Cole is doing very good. I said at the beginning of the season, if we expect 20 goals and 20 assists, that's wrong. We don't need to put that pressure on him. He needs to enjoy. Agreed with that as well. There was a question that thrown at Maresca. I did see that bit around certain players like Malagusto now playing in a more attacking position, and also Keenan Dewsbury Hall playing on the right as well. And I think Maresca basically said, it was just an idea, which is put there. It could be an idea for the future. That's why he tried it on a Wednesday. Bit of talk there about Andre Santos as well. He's shown what I've said many times. Some players, it's better to go and prove themselves and come back. Is what he's doing. Now it's too early, but if he continues, he could be an option for us. So that's a good sign for Santos as well. Another player that we could potentially bring back into the team next season. What else has he said? So, yeah, they asked him quite a lot of questions in here. Yeah, so they're just asking him lack of clean sheets. That's a good one there. So the lack of clean sheets and goals scored with Chelsea's 6-yard box. From the last 6, no clean sheets. How many have we won? If we concede 1 and score 2, I'm happy. We have many things that we need to improve. The way we attack, but also the way we defend. For sure, we need to improve. There's so many things. We can't focus on all of them. We start with the priority. Then, sure, we consider this. For me personally, the defending has to be the priority. I said that the other day. I'm still saying it now. We have to make sure that we look at how we can defend better, because that's what it doesn't. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the fact that we can score more and concede less. We shouldn't be conceding that many goals. And it's not the fact that we're conceding many goals, it's how we're conceding them as well, which is a massive concern for me. Defensively, I think we should be doing a whole lot better than we have been. A bit of talk on Nicholas Jackson. Very happy. He's not just helping in terms of scoring and assists, but in terms of how we want to play, how he links to teammates. Every time he drops, he gives us an extra man. When he's in behind, he's quick and can score. We can try and work with him in the different areas, and one is when he drops, but also what he has to do then. We try to improve and work on him since we started here. Interesting from Maresca. And yeah, if I'm honest, I think he's nailed on a lot of what he said there. But I do think it's going to be interesting if he continues with who's going to go with in goal. That's a massive headache that I think he's got there, because if we're being honest, Petrovic really shouldn't have gone out on loan. Petrovic should have stayed with us this season. I think maybe you send out one of the other goalkeepers instead. But looking back now in hindsight, I think Petrovic should have stayed. I think we should have potentially lowered out Jurgensen, because Petrovic is always going to be a goalkeeper that will go, to another club and he'll do well. Same with Kepa. I know Kepa's not really doing that well with Bournemouth, but I think he still would have been better options than what we've got currently. So I think that's a massive headache. I think the fact that we're defending really, really badly is another headache. But there'd be questions. I mean, I don't want to, like I said the other day, I don't want to see Dizazi and Badiashile play together. So I can't expect it's going to be them. But let's try and go through the predicted lineup, what we think Maresca will go with tomorrow. I think he's going to go with Sanchez, isn't he? He's going to go with Sanchez. But I wouldn't go with Sanchez. I'd go with Jurgensen again. I think I've seen too much from Sanchez. And he's one of those players for me that he worries me with the ball. And I'm not saying Jurgensen doesn't make mistakes, because he does clearly, but he doesn't make as many. He doesn't make as many as Sanchez, and I think he needs to be given a run of games in goal, maybe to build up that confidence, maybe to build up that relationship with the defenders as well. So I'll go Jurgensen in this game. I am definitely putting Reece James 1,000,000% back into this team. Very impressive how he played against Newcastle as a left back last Sunday. I think this Sunday we need to see him in his natural position as a right back. I think we're going to need a lot of that down the right side, which we'll get onto in a minute. And I think the same on the left side as well, which we'll also talk about. But the two centre-backs I'm going to go for, I think he's going to stick with his original two, isn't he, in the back? I think he'll go with Colwell, Fofana. They seem like the chosen two from Maresca. I can't really see him not playing those two there. So I think he'll go for them. And to be honest, I think both of them have been rested in the week. Neither of them have kicked a ball for us all week. So I think, we'll definitely have to see both of those. I think in the lineup on Sunday as well. So left back, I'm going to go with my usual Cucurella, who I thought was amazing. I thought he was the best player on the pitch for us midweek against Newcastle. I think the only one that could probably come off that pitch and actually say he gave 99% in that game. The others couldn't say that, but he definitely was the one. And it's interesting because Maresca said the other day or the other week in his press conference that he is one of the leaders in the team, one of the more vocal ones in the dressing room. And you can kind of see him coming into himself in terms of, you know, what we need from Cucurella. We're seeing it now a lot more. So yeah, I play Cucurella left side. I'll be dropping Enzo. I'm putting Caicedo, Lavia as my two in midfield. Again, I'm liking the partnership that they're having there. Caicedo, we know, has probably been our best midfielder, one of our best players this season by far. He's definitely stepped things up from last season when there was a couple of question marks around him. If he carries on with this form, I think he's going to have a good partner in Lavia next to him as well. He can then learn a lot of Caicedo as well. So I'm going to play with those two in the middle. This is where it gets a bit tricky because we definitely not play Mudryk. let's remove Mudryk straight away. But this is where it gets a bit tricky because we know that we can't play Sancho there. So now there's a question: do you put Pedro Neto on the left? Do we put Cole Palmer, which I think we will, as our 10? And I think we will see Madueke start. And I think we'll see Nicholas Jackson start. And the reason I think that is because I think if we was to put Cole Palmer here, I think Reece James is going to get the best out of playing with Noni Madueke, because Madueke will be able to cut in. And I just think we're going to see Reece James. Reece James has to be here. He has to be occupying this space here. Taking on... I'm trying to think who will be there for United. Who will be in that position for United, potentially? It'll probably be Diego Dallo, because I think Mazraoui will probably play on the right. So it'll be Diego Dallo. James, you got to be down here, mate. You got to be pushing Dallo all the way back, not allowing him to get forwards. I think Garnacho will be ahead of him, maybe, or Rashford. So we need to nullify that easily. We need to make sure that Rashford can't break through and make those runs. And if he does, then we need to make sure that these two, not the Chocker brothers, but Fofana and Colwell, that both of them are switched on. They have to occupy this space here. They have to. And he needs to do a lot of this covering here as well. And this is where the two central defenders are going to be so crucial, because I think that's the only time I feel like United are going to get a really good break is if they hit us on the counter. I don't think they've really got much aerial threat. I know they've got De Ligt now. Obviously, Martinez isn't really such as an aerial threat, but I do think if they're going to win this game, United. It's going to be a defensive mistake again, or they're going to hit us on a counter attack. And I think we have to. I think for me personally, as much as I want to see Cucurella, I want to see some narrow attacking options here and sort of overloading the box with our four in terms of the attackers. I want to see these two here. When we've got possession of the ball, I want to see Caicedo here. I want to see Lavia here, or vice versa. I want to see Caicedo occupying this space here. And we need to overload, because I think if we do that, I think United are going to struggle. I think United will struggle, because they won't know how to cope with it. And I think we have to overload them. We can't sit back. We can't invite pressure. We have to make sure that we overload the box. And I feel like this is a really big test for certain players like Pedro Neto. Nicholas Jackson, we know, is in great form. Cole Palmer as such as well. But I feel the two wide players, Neto and Madueke, this is a big game for them, because Neto, I think, is less so, but I think Madueke has to start showing a bit more in his game. He has to start showing that, yes, he's got the trickery to beat the player, or he's got the speed, dropping the shoulder, and he can take on a player. But we need to see more when he's in these spaces here. And I touched on this a couple of weeks ago now, maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago. We have to see him make the right choice here. If there's 3 in the box, 4 in the box, whatever, use your head, use the fact that you've got those players there, use them rather than trying to shoot when the shot isn't on. And I think that's where he's got to use his brain. He's got to use his brain, because if he doesn't, it won't be much soon that we'll see João Felix coming on. Maybe Pedro Neto goes to the right, Felix on the left. But yeah, he needs to start occupying the right spaces for me. So that's the lineup I'm gonna go with. Jurgensen in goal, James right back, Fofana and Colwell left centre backs, Cucurella as a left back, the two in midfield, Lavia, Caicedo, Cole Palmer number 10. Left side of that will be Pedro Neto. Right side will be Noni Madueke, and as a striker, in form Nicholas Jackson. And again, you look at the substitutions that we would potentially have on the bench as well. You're talking Malo Gusto. I was going to say Badia Shaw, but Malo Gusto, Fernandez will be on the bench. Renato Vega, João Felix. You'd reckon Tosin and Kunku, another one that we haven't mentioned so far today. Chukwuemeka potentially on the bench as well. Maybe Mudryk. Options there off the bench, which is really good for us in terms of who we might be able to bring on. So, I'm not concerned at all about the game. My only worry is that we don't take our chances. We have to take them. We create good chances, but we need to take them. We create some decent ones against Newcastle in the week, but we've got to start taking them, because if we don't, it's not going to be too long before it's 1-0 to United, and then we're chasing the game. And one of the things I want to see, and I know we will see this, but Maresca has to make the subs. He has to make the subs. If there's a sub that needs to be made, make the sub. Just make the sub, because if we win this game, which again, we've got some tough fixtures coming up the next couple of weeks. We've got some really tough fixtures. Let's find out what the fixtures are. I feel like we play Arsenal. Then we play Arsenal soon as well. We've got Noah, I think, in a week. And then I feel like we've got Arsenal coming up. Let's have a look. Where are we? Noah, yes, then Arsenal. Then we've got the international break in between this, but we play Leicester. Then we've got Heidenheim in the Conference League as well. Then we play Villa 1st of December, Southampton away, and then Tottenham. I mean, there's some tough fixtures there. There are some tough. That is a really mad run of games. But if we can beat Man United, who are currently 14th, as I said, they're on the decline. They're closer to the relegation than they are at the top of the table. If we can win that game and results go in our favour, I'm talking about the Arsenal, the Villa game, we could potentially end up in 3rd place come the end of the weekend. Now, that would be a massive step in the right direction for Maresca and Chelsea. We just have to hope results go our way, but we can only focus on what we can do. 3 wins in 5 isn't bad, but I think we need to step things up now, because those fixtures I just spoke about, they're coming thick and fast now. This is the first busy period in the season, and we've got the squad depth, I think, personally, to deal with it. But we have to make sure that we utilise the squad, utilise the subs, get it right, defend. I can't even stress it anymore. We have to defend properly in this game, because Rashford, Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, Zertsky will get chances. They will get chances, and we have to be ready. And it's no easy task. As I keep saying, 2013, the 5th of May, Juan Mata was the last Chelsea player to get us a win at Old Trafford. So as a Chelsea player, so we have to make sure we guard against complacency, and that we hit them on the front foot. We attack them, because if we attack them, I think we'll get some good goals, and we'll get more than one goal. Because I don't think they'll be able to cope with our attacking threat. And that's the thing that I think we have to use to our strength. Mazraoui, I don't think he's that confident for me. I don't think personally he's probably hit the form, or he hasn't gelled with the team as such yet. Dalot, we know, is quite iffy on the left side as well, if he starts on the left. I think De Ligt is obviously a big threat aerially for them going forward, but also defensively. And Martinez, again, we know that Onana's got a mistake in him as well. We know that Anana's got a mistake in him, so we have to attack them from the start. The very, very start, we have to attack them. So I'm looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to the game. I can't wait for Sunday to be here. If you're on, as I said, if you're on Style of Play, you're watching this on the other YouTube channel that this is live streaming to, then Kojo will be back. I will make sure that he's on. If Chelsea win, I will make sure Kojo is on the show for the next debate show that we do for Style of Play. But as you know as well, if you're watching on From the Shed End, Theo is currently away. He's in New York. He's getting ready for his marathon that he'll be running very shortly. So all the best to Theo as well, obviously over in America, New York. He'll be back next week, so we'll be able to get the podcast up and running. I'm sure he'll tell us all about his time away as well. I don't think he's been on the channel since Panathinaikos either, so he'll be able to tell us about his trip to Panathinaikos and also his marathon in America when he is back. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what your lineup would be, your predictions. My prediction, I didn't give mine. My prediction for the game will be 2-0 Chelsea. I think we'll win. I think if we attack them from the very start, we'll win this game, because we've got all the right ingredients to win this game. 2013 is a long time to go without a win at Old Trafford. A very long time to go without a win. So we have to make sure that we hit them on the front foot. But let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like this video, whether you're from the Shed End or if you're on Style of Play. Make sure you subscribe to both of those YouTube channels. Make sure you help the two channels grow as well. We'll be back very soon on From the Shed End with the podcast, and the debate show will be back up and running next week after all the fixtures. So make sure you tune in for that one. And until then, thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back soon.